lot better, because that way Roser.Y is leaving their last pick as a counter pick to whatever BRU would put up. And this Ornn, again, the question for BRU is, are they going to put it over to the top side and have it face against Rattel's Aatrox, or will they be content to go NGX's route and put the Ornn as their support?
I love this. I love this. Big adjustment coming in from BRU, having the Riven right now for Tipper. He is also just amazing on this champion. One of his favorites as well. To face an Aatrox is going to be a better time for him as well, because he no longer has to play things defensively. He can just go in straight on against him. The Swain this time around will be picked up by Noel. Perfect here. A lot of surprises again and again. KT, though, securing the Akali is the bigger surprise. Haku this time around will try an assassin.
Is it really Haku playing the Akali, though? Or is it Rattel? We have to remember that Rattel is also a very good Akali player. But it does look like that Haku would be the one playing the Akali. Not Zero, but Haku. And we have to remember that Zero is our original Akali god from Korea, and this is really coming off as a surprise to us, because oftentimes when we see KT.RY field in Haku, we would be seeing him on range champions like the Lux, like the AD carries, like the Jhin, right? Like there was a game yesterday in where he played the Jhin. But this is their curveball. Roser.Y is saying that Haku could also play the Akali, and it is going to be a good matchup against Noel Swain.
This is an exciting sight to see for sure. BRU having the Swain, having the Zeri, having this kind of adjustment to take down KT, and KT as well evolving. They keep on evolving. Haku right now having the Akali. I'm looking forward to seeing how he's going to be performing with this champion. Surely he is trying to reach the feat that Zero has on this champion, but hopefully he will be able to do so. They need every bit of potential to be fully utilized here in the mid lane to take down BRU, because it's going to be so difficult to penetrate the front line with the Ornn, with the Swain. Even the Riven is going to be an irritating champion to actually deal with.
The Riven versus the Aatrox is a matchup that I kinda just want to see, right? And then so now Rattel is now going to run over to the bot lane to try to get that 1v1. They have a very similar kit, I have to say, because both of them has 3 procs on their first skill, right? Like the Darkened Blade and the Broken Blade.
What? If were you, who do you give a favor towards this matchup? Do you give it to the Aatrox? Do you give it to the Riven? Because oftentimes we do not see the Aatrox versus Riven. Most of the time, Aatrox gets picked into the jungle and rarely into the Baron lane.
Yeah, Riven for me, because one of the weakness that you can abuse of the Aatrox is that if you can go into his face and deal massive damage. With the Riven, you have lots of mobility and lots of ways to dish out damage as well. So in a 1v1 scenario, I would favor the Riven.
It's going to be quite challenging, right? To proc that knock-ups against the Riven. So Tipper having that advantage to try to abuse that fact, especially with the, I would say, not lack of damage and lack of potential of the Aatrox as well during the early phases of the game. That's where he is at his most vulnerable. As well, BRU can send out Valdez as well to visit the bottom lane, but looks like KT is being very proactive here in the top lane. He's waiting patiently. That's a grand entrance into the Vault Breaker, into the cease and desist. Golden Fit still managed to fall back, though, ping to death as the Ignite pushes through with the bouncing grenade of Luna. First blood secured by KT. What the Jess as well might need to fall back for now.
Only at level 3, but with no cannon minion to really assist KT.RY, it's so hard to dive an Ornn. KT.RY wisely just backs away, unless What the Jest goes too far forward. But that is still a very good first blood coming from KT.RY. Daw on the Vi is just an instrumental pick for them if the Kha'Zix ever gets banned out. again, we're just waiting for the Valdez show to happen. But at least for now, in the very beginning of this game number 2, Daw gets a first blood.
Amazing setup, amazing follow-up. Lockdown was pure,
Ooh.
but the coup de grace right there, the cherry on top, was a bouncing grenade with the ignite ticking on Golden Feet's head. That is a little bit unfortunate on this side. This time around, bottom lane is going to be the target. As Ratel lands at least one Darkened Blade with the vision onto what the Jazz, they just disengage for now. They cannot afford to give 3 kills onto Thripper or what the Jazz.
Exactly, and this is again KT.RY plan all along. They want what the Jazz to be on the Ornn, not over to Thripper. By going for the Aatrox, they force the hands of BRU, and this is just a continuation of how marvelous the drafting is for KT.RY. Every time that we see them play, they will have something in store for the opposing side on the red side. And that is the reason why their win rate on the red side has just been at an all-time high, right? Like, we have been saying that there's a red side magic for KT.RY, and at least in this game, with the way things are starting, it is very apparent that they're just more comfortable. They're just so unbelievable on red side.
I mean, 6 wins and just 1 lose on the red side right here
Yep.
on the playoffs. It's just an insane stat to have. And the one loss that they had is because of a miraculous call coming in from Nigma Galaxy on that base race. But right now, they're looking pretty solid, pretty efficient as well on their rotations, getting a lot of plates here right now. In the top side, they have secured some plates in the bottom lane as well, maximizing their gold efficiency while waiting for the first objective.
Yeah. Gold lead to the side of KT.RY. But the objective is going to spawn up in a few seconds. So the question is, if you're KT.RY with the lead that you have, do you force the Rift Herald or do you go for the scaling component of the Dragons? We're going to find out real soon, because if we know that KT.RY is not going to shy away engaging against a Kha'Zix. We all know the lockdown of a Rakan and a Vi is just so pure.
Demonic Ascension, but they turn right now onto the backline of BRU. They need to be very safe. Good cancel onto Haku. The Valve is still gonna get taken down. Nomel being chased here by Golden Feet, but still the heal is enough to allow him to be safe now. Golden Feet's a little bit deep.
No damage!
Might be in trouble. Oh man, unfortunate that he lacks damage, and right now Haku is just wrecking havoc. Fortunately, BRU was able to take him down, but they need to fall back from Ratel as he is just unstoppable right now.
One of the glaring weakness of a Zeri in the early stages is that it does negative damage, for sure, right? Like, every Zeri mains knows this, that at their first few minutes of the game, you need 580 or something more, and it was so apparent in that particular exchange. KT.RY got the better end of the trade, and if you're Golden Feet, it's just so unfortunate. It was so close, right? Both targets, both 1 HP, was able to survive.
BRU, that was so close to them being able to not only secure the RH but also secure a couple of kills, might even transition to a double objective take. But with KT.RY surviving, now they have the luxury of scaling up, taking the first dragon. BRU wants to respond with a push in the top lane. Since they have the RH, maybe they can use it there, but I think it's going to be wiser to use it in the mid lane to at least get something across the map.
Of course, but the Ziggs is there, right? That's the problem. With the Ziggs being there, there is a way for them to just get that defense set and ready. And if you were able to secure the first, or the Rift Herald, your goal is to secure at least the first tower. But for now, Valdez and company is just holding off. And in the next 30 seconds, it has to be summoned, because one of the ways to maximize the Rift Herald is to secure some tower plates as well. We all know on patch 4.2 there were changes when it comes to tower plate timings, and now expires at 7 minutes and 30. You would see immediately Valdez summons the Rift Herald here in the mid lane.
Yeah, almost actually. A close call.
5 seconds.
Fortunately, was able to use it at the very end, able to give a couple of gold towards the members here of BRU to try and catch up with the lead of KT.RY. But again, one of the concerns we have is the scaling of KT. That every time they avoid fights, every time they at least be on par in terms of the kills, it's going to be really scary come late game, because with the dragon stacks, it's Just so
Yep.
difficult to take down KT. Plus, right now with the performance of Haku, it's looking pretty solid. It's looking to have
Yeah.
a lot of potential for scaling.
True, he was the one who get that last hit over to Valdez that started that team fight so well for KT.RY. We also looked at the records of the tower plates that was taken by both teams, and they were even, right? 5 tower plates each. So at the end of the day, KT.RY really got the trade up because the Rift Herald was of no use. Yeah, you were able to chunk down the mid lane tower, but as long as the Ziggs is there, it's so hard to penetrate.
No grand entrance for Numel this time around. Though might actually get punched as Flipper flashes in, secures the kill onto the Vi. And Rattel joins though, but unable to land the strike. Val is chasing him down. Flipper is here, but may need to escape. Flash. Noel
Here
is
comes
here
Noel.
though. Demonic Ascension, that's a slow, that's a grab, and that's a kill. Onto the Aatrox. Good punish by BRU.
The counterplay by BRU was so beneficial for them. It's a blunder by KT.RY, uncharacteristic but ready to really punish is Buriram United, and looks like that's a massive swing. BRU shows some signs of life. We look into the replay. This is what happened in the bot lane off camera. Haku died. Maybe? Just maybe? Okay. He goes in against Golden Feet.
Thanks. He got away for free? No.
It's a 1-for-1. It's a 1-for-1. Okay. So in the end, it being a 1-for-1 is still okay for KT.RY because one, the tower in the bot lane is still intact, but KT.RY's over aggression on the top side needs not to happen again because if it does ever happen again, you look at Valdez, he's already level 11 and is farming so well as well. He's going to be one of the threats that KT.RY has to solve later because if anything, Luna's life is dependent as to how Valdez will perform in this game. We all know that earlier, during game number 1, Valdez was not able to catch Luna at all. This game is different. Valdez is now on the Kazakhs.
A lot more potential, and looking at the score line, it's looking pretty solid as well. But Haku, on the other hand, is channeling his allies' energy. Zero's influence definitely getting a mark onto him. 3-2 in terms of score. Managed to secure a kill a while ago in the bottom lane as well. Flipper gonna be in trouble though. There's 3 people there. Lockdown secured. He's dead.
KT.RY just outsmarted Zipper there, right? Like they sent over one person to finish the job on the tower, and then lo and behold, there was another person lurking inside that tribush. It was Numel. Zipper thought that he was already safe to clear out the minion, but turns out there is another one, another trap to solve. So KT.RY again with disciplined macro and good game plan gets another objective here in the mid lane.
Easy tower takedown. Nothing that Numel can do despite his efforts. It was still a tower takedown. Now they have perfect ways to manipulate the bot side jungle camps here of Valdez and try to secure this dragon as well. But BRU starting this already, doing a lot of damage actually onto it, but the reset comes through.
The Ocean Dragon, half health here, Giang, and Valdez is just so prepared to come in and snag this away from KT.RY.
Eyes on Haku, eyes on Numel as well as they engage right now with Doe leading the pack.
Valdez is dead!
Shane as they secure the second dragon as well. Right now backline has been breached. Haku doing a really good job, but he will get taken down at the very end. Rattel sprinting his way out of harm's way, but Flipper is actually chasing him down, but might need to fall back, regretting his decisions. Numel just holding the fort. KT still managed to get the objective, now pushing mid lane.
KT.RY has a way to simplify things, right? They just go in and kill Valdez, and there will be no 50-50 for their squad. And now with 2 dragons added onto the goal lead that KT.RY was able to get, looks like that Buriram United is in shambles right now. For sure, right? They have a late game insurance. They do have the Zeri, but this Swain is not going to be as, you know, as good as the other scaling champions that we have. We look into the replay and you would immediately see Valdez. The way it happened was the Void Assault was casted, and immediately once he showed up, the layering of the crowd control is there for KT.RY. Rattel surviving with 1 HP, and we have to remember when you are on the World Ender, you basically have increased healing, and that's the reason why Zipper, regardless of the threat that he was able to do against Valdez under the tower, it wasn't enough. And again, we have to commend KT.RY. They just have a way to do those objective team fights so clean. So if you're BRU, what do? Right? Like, I think it's a lot better for BRU not to start objective at all. And just wait for KT.RY to start it and then try to snag it away from BRU. From KT.RY instead.
I agree. History dictates a repetition of the outcome. And BRU needs to start changing the way that they deal against KT.RY. They need to be the one reacting this time around and try to catch Haku as well. His influence has been astounding this game. 5-2-0, I believe, or 5-3-0. 5 kills in general. Now they turn 3 members of BRU now in shambles as they cast the demonic ascension, but the well still is gonna get taken down. Golden Feet trying to escape, will be able to do so, but KT still gets a kill. Now bashing the second tower here in the top lane quickly, almost take it down as well. BRU is struggling so much right now in this game.
Yeah, Numel has been so quick to his feet. Knows that they have the numbers advantage. Once Slipper shows up in the bot lane, that's the go signal for KT.RY to engage on the top side, regardless of the tower being there. The amount of lockdown that they can do to all the members of BRU United is just so easy to execute. And again, if there is like one worry that I do have about this Ornn pickup, is that your disengage is not going to come out as fast as the other engagers or disengagers in the support role. Like, for example, Gragas, right? If you are using the Gragas, if what the Jess was using the Gragas, he would just be able to throw the explosive cask and dissuade the attempt of KT.RY to come in. But because he is on an Ornn, the Call of the Forge God takes a lot of time before it even starts.
Now, Dipper is being called to disengage. Force to use the stasis, will still be able to escape. But having Step alone here by KT, will be able to group up with his ally. As now, Dipper mistiming that knockoff, unable to land the strike. Noel, though, leading the charge is a little bit scary. Rattel is going here, catches Dipper off guard. But the backline has been breached here by BRU. Now chasing Nomel, they go back on to KT. Nomel, though, needs to escape. Valdez is waiting for an opportunity to strike. Rattel is dealing a lot of damage here. Now with the help of Doe, they turn. Haku doing a good job, but still is gonna fall down. KT surviving for so long. What the Jets is gonna turn, but will regret his decisions. It's still KT that wins the fight.
It was a 4v3 and they waited for Numel to come in to their rescue. KT.RY still ends up winning that team fight overall. That long drawn out team fight started with a Swain casting his demonic ascension, and for a second there I thought that he was out of position. I thought that there was no fight for BRU to begin with, but he was able to catch Luna off guard. Luna dying in the first few seconds of that fight really resulted in a very good start for BRU, but KT.RY was able to prolong the team fight, and we all know where Aatrox is good at, right? Long drawn out team fights.
Absolutely. And with that, right, Dragon, third Dragon being threatened right now by KT.RY. Valdez, again, big responsibility, but again they turn, and Tipper is dead. Now they have numbers advantage once more in this fight. KT.RY, with help of Haku, can easily breach the backline this time around, but they're being very patient, waiting for the Call of the Forge God. Valdez wants to burst the Dragon out, but it resets again.
No more quickness into the grand entrance. Valdez, can you steal this?
He will try, but he gets CC'd, and he will pop the GA, but unable to land the steal onto the Dragon. Gets caught at the very end as well as KT, again, wreaking havoc onto the last remaining members of BRU. They're trying to flee, but they're not being allowed to do so. Golden Feet is trying to pre-hit, but they can just soak damage for days. And now it's going to be the last push in the mid lane with the wave. There is the shield on the Nexus, so they're just waiting for the last wave.
Yeah, but this is just one support. Oh, okay, never mind. Tipper is here to at least help out while they just defend this tower. But will KT.RY force the issue and finish this game?
They just give a traumatic experience here to Tipper, killing him after just mere seconds of spawning up into the game. And KT will secure the second game as well.
This is a mad KT.RY. Contrary from yesterday in where they crawled from an O2 hole against NGX, now it is them